For greeting us in 27 languages spoken at NYU's global sites by members of this year's graduating class and in sites where our faculty conduct research. I'm Ellen Shaw, Dean of the Robert F. Wagner Graduate School of Public Service at NYU. Welcome to all of you, to parents, partners, and spouses, to family and friends. Welcome NYU Wagner faculty, staff, and administrators. Welcome NYU Chief of Staff and Deputy to the President, Diane Yu. And welcome to this year's convocation speaker, Melody Barnes. And most importantly, welcome to the members of the 2012 graduating class of the Robert F. Wagner Graduate School of Public Service. I'm delighted to be here with you today at the Beacon Theater to mark with ritual, ceremony, and symbolism this important moment in your trajectory forward. We believe strongly in the importance of celebration, of taking a moment to step back and reflect on individual and collective successes and achievements. And just as we believe in the importance of celebration, we appreciate the importance of place. Each year, we select as a convocation venue a space of public significance within New York City. We're delighted to be at the Beacon Theater this year, a thriving performing arts center where some of the greatest entertainers of all time, Michael Jackson, the Rolling Stones, Queen, have taken the stage, and here we are. You each came to Wagner in the hopes that this experience would reposition you, reframe your understanding of issues of public importance, and ultimately bring you to a new point. We welcomed you to Wagner with the new student retreat, your first close encounter with Wagner and a key moment. There we ask you to begin to chart a strategic course of action for your public service journey and beyond. We asked you to think into the future and imagine how, as a result of your graduate Wagner experience, you might think differently, act differently, or be differently optioned. Together we gather with the understanding that in fact you have experienced major shifts. Shifts in how you perceive the world, in how you act on issues of public importance, and how you engage professionally with the world of public service. Bravo to you. These shifts took effort and were often made with hours of study. These shifts have brought you to where you are today. Like you, NYU and NYU Wagner stand at key moments in our trajectories. NYU, which was created 180 years ago to be in and of one city, of course a great city, New York, is now a global network university with campuses developing in Abu Dhabi and Shanghai and sites in 6 continents. NYU Wagner also began as a school primarily serving the city and the region. And at the same time as we have become more national and more global in reach, as you heard in the way we welcomed you all this morning, in terms of our student body, where our alums work, and the scope of faculty research, we have also catapulted from 26 to 6 in national rankings. Like you, we made a set of moves, a set of changes to position ourselves to get to this point in your and our trajectories. As I thought about what to say to you today, I realized it wasn't enough to simply talk about the change you'll be experiencing as you move forward in your careers. Instead, I wanted to give you a framework from which to understand the transition you will be experiencing. William Bridges, a management consultant, explicates the difference between change and transition. Change is external, and transition describes the emotional and psychological process that accompanies change. As you all know, change happens whether you pay attention to it or not. What I want to emphasize is that by paying attention to the transition, you ease the process. In that vein, I'm going to walk you through what Bridges calls the 3 stages of transition, in the hopes that by offering you this framework, it will make you attend both to this moment and to the other changes ahead of you. Bridges, interestingly, starts by encouraging us to pay attention to endings. He says you have to end before you can begin. Most of us rush toward the future without attending to the past. Rituals, of course, are one way to mark endings, and part of what we're doing today at this ritual called convocation. We honor your past at Wagner. It's important not only to celebrate endings, to think about the parts of the past that you bring with you, but also what you must inevitably leave behind. Think about the Wagner relationships you'll continue, the ones that enrich your lives, and think about what you're letting go of as you shift out of your role as a student, not just the exams and all the work, but what else? The second stage in Bridges' framework is the neutral zone, a time when the old way of life is gone and the new way has yet to fully emerge. This is a time that can be marked with anxiety and a time many of us want to rush through to get to the next point. But instead of rushing through this period, I invite you to pause. The neutral zone can be a time of creativity, of exploration, and of learning. Indeed, the gap between the old and the new is when innovation is most possible. The third and final stage is new beginnings. New beginnings differ from starts in that they are more a psychological phenomenon than a moment in time. We often start something like a new job while still actually being in the neutral zone, or without having finished the work involved in endings. Some of you worked full-time while at Wagner and will continue at your job after graduation. Others are moving on to new jobs, and still others of you are figuring out next steps. Wherever you are in this process, I encourage you to slow down enough to experience the fullness of transition and arrive with renewed energy and purpose to your new beginning. But today is not yet about new beginnings. It's about celebrating what you have already achieved. This is your moment and your day. We see great possibility in each of you. We invited you to Wagner with a sense that you can help change the world. And as you stand poised at this particular point in both change and transition, we remark on the ways that you've already made a difference at Wagner and beyond. We remain eager to hear about your future achievements and confident that you will live lives of mission and meaning, lives that serve the wider good and create personal satisfaction and fulfillment as well. Congratulations and best of luck to all of you.